Hello everybody. This is a tricky one, so be prepared for it. Don't get frustrated. Just keep calm and just rewind. Watch it as frequently as you need to. And if you do need teacher help, don't be afraid to ask for it. But this is an if function. So basically, like, if a worker sold more than 10 cars this month, they get paid $500 added to their pay. So we want to show, did they earn a bonus? Did they sell more than 10 cars this month? So we can just write like yes, no. But if there are hundreds of salespeople, then we need to maybe put a function in. So what we want to do is go into our formulas. We want to insert a function, and we want to just click if and say okay. And then the logical test. So down below here, if you can read this. So basically, this checks whether a condition is met and returns a value of true, and another one is false. So that's what a function, an if function, does. So if a condition is met, then it comes back as true, and if it's not met, then it comes back as false. So we're going to say yes if it's true. So yes, they did earn their bonus. That's what I want you to say. And no, they did not get a bonus. So I'm just putting in quotation marks. If you just leave it, it'll be like true or false. But in this situation, I want to kind of override that true or false with a yes or a no, which is why I kind of put in quotation marks there. So is any value or expression that can be evaluated as true or false? So any value or expression that can be evaluated as true or false. This is basically like, what are we looking at? So we want to look at these cells. Oops, daisy. These cells here. Cars sold, and we want to know if they are greater than 10. And if they are, then yes. And if they're not, then no. So let's see. I don't know if this sentence is going to be correct, but I selected the car sold, and then I put a comma in and a greater than sign and the 10. And let's see if it works. If not, I'll come back in and redo. No. Okay, so what did it type? Cells 1, 2 to get around this, an apostrophe first. Okay, so. Oh, it does not like my apostrophe. Let's see if that. Ooh, spill. That's quite an error. Let's have a look here. Spill error, help here. Okay, so I'm going to just, because I am like, let's delete all these. Okay, I'm going to go over here, because I think what I did, I selected all of these, and I don't want to do all of them. I want to do, so we're going to go in if function. I just want to do this guy. If this guy is greater than 10, then I'm going to like capital on it, Y, and quote, no. Let's see if that one works. Hopefully, yeah. So that one worked. And then it just, so I selected all of them. So I was asking if all of them were, and they were like, what? So just the one, just this to this. And if that's then, and then it's no. So that makes sense, hopefully. Okay. So total pay. So if this is a no, then they just get their base salary. If this is a yes, then they get this. So that is an if then. So that's going to be another if function. Okay, so the logic test is going to be related to this. If this equals, quote, yes, let me think this one through. Okay, let's try this again. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to insert function. We're going to pick an if function. So logic test. If this equals, quote, yes, then, so if it's true, then we're going to go with this plus $500. And if it's no, then it's just base salary with no $500 added. And say, okay. Actually, that crazily enough worked. Okay, so this makes 2025. Excuse me. Okay, let me do that one more time. I know you guys could have stopped and rewound, but I'm going to do it one more time. So insert function, if function, and we're going to say logic test. So we're going to look at column D. if that one happens to equal, quotation marks, YES, close quotes. So if it happens to say yes in there, and then if it's true, we're going to get our base salary plus $500. And if it's false, they just earn, oopsie daisy, they just earn their base salary. Okay? Yeah, that's all you have to do. Well, not all you have to do. This is weird. I get it. Okay, so that is that part. Now we're going to go to the count if function. So this guy here is how many people have library fines. Put the answer in a count if function in E8. So let's go to insert function, and not if, but count if. And we're going to say okay here. And the range is in here, and the criteria is greater than 0. So there's 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is correct. It did the correct thing. So it did not include all of the people who did not have, the 3 people that did not have fines. It just counted the people that did have fines. Okay, so this is average if function. So what is the average amount of library fines owed by people only with library fines? So it excludes the people. So we'll do an average if, and then I'll do an average function afterwards just to show you the difference between them. Mathematically, your math teachers care. Once again, AVER will get it, and I just have to find the average if in the thing. So that's it. The range I'm looking at is here, and the criteria has to be greater than 0. And we're going to just say okay, and there. So that comes up with it. Now if I go, if I go to this box and I go insert function, and I look, no, I can't find an average. Let's just go average, and we'll say okay. And we're going to go with this cell range, and we're going to say okay. So the average, including the zeros, comes to $1.91, but the real average is $2.87. Excuse me. So if I was a librarian, I would care about that, because most people don't get fines, but amongst the people who do get fines, the average that they're paying is $2.87. It's just more real data, like it's higher quality. So that's your average if. And our last one, excuse me, is a sum if. So what's the total amount of library fines owed by all women? And what's a total owed by men? Okay, so sum if function. So let's go with a sum if, S-U-M, and sum if is right there. So the range is going to be, this is a tricky one, because the range, we got to think this through. I've got sum range criteria. So criteria is going to be, female, I believe. I don't know if I need quotation marks for that, but we'll see in a minute. The sum range is going to be actually this. And the range that we want it to look at to decide if they're women or men is going to be that one. So if this has an F, then count that. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Now we can do the exact same thing here. So insert function, sum if, and our range that we're looking at is this guy here. My criteria that we're going to look at this time, sorry, is M. And the sum range, what I want it to add up is this one here. I want to say okay, and 9. So the men have more fines than the women do. So that's another quick one. Hope that helped.